So I'm Jen and I am the owner of Dirtbags Climbing. We've just moved into a new space, so we're all set up ready now. We're kind of slowly expanding. What we do as a business is we gather basically old outdoor gear to upcycle and remake into new products. So we started off with things like climbing ropes, which we'd remake into belts and then to chalk bags. And then we also started taking tents and wetsuits and jackets and rucksacks, and we basically just take everything apart into components and see what we can and what we can't use. Some things are still good, like the zips and the buckles. Some things, especially with older things in the rucksacks, like the fabric isn't so great, but a fabric in a jacket might be fine. So we kind of take all the components apart and cut our patterns basically out of that and make chalk bags. Where we get our materials from generally tends to be post-consumer, like faulty returns, or they'll be from individual climbers or activity centres. But the one thing that we haven't touched upon is like pre-loved kind of lost property things. So Psychi reached out to us to kind of discuss the problem that a lot of climbing walls have is with lost property, forgotten things. They build up and they get left and no one comes to collect them. So they reached out to climbing walls to say, is this a problem? What do you do with it? The general answer is it's either charity if it's okay, or the bin. Because it's, you know, it's a hassle that climbing walls shouldn't really have. So Psychi started gathering all of the lost property. We had a look to see what we could do with it, and we basically did the same thing. So there's a lot of jumpers, so we chopped up all the jumpers, cut our patterns out of it to make the chalk bag panels for the liners. There's a few jackets that go on the externals and the bags and things like that. So yeah, it was kind of an answer to a problem of using the lost property that's already in the climbing walls, bringing it in, cleaning it up, and just kind of restitching it into something that can then be sold on for the people who want to buy it. I guess it's a good eco-friendly option. This will have been a jumper, and I guess say like one large jumper would go into making like maybe 6 or 7 chalk bag liners. So you can see how like well we use the fabric, and there's not a lot that goes to waste. And the same with the things like the zips. So the zip will have come from a zip pocket in a jacket, and this black fabric will have been that jacket. All of the toggles as well, so we're not contributing to plastic, we're kind of using the toggles that come from one of the main things that get left at climbing walls are chalk bags themselves. So we use the toggles off those. So we've done like 3 batches worth for Psychi now, so we tend to do it in like 40 at a time. Because of how we operate, if we don't have a fast turnover of things, we end up overwhelmed with kind of old things. So especially with the rope, well, as soon as we get a rope in, it gets cleaned, it gets sorted, it gets made into something, and then it's out of the door, so we don't have to store it. Otherwise it can become quite a problem for storage, really. I guess we are just as we say we are. Things come through the door, we remake it, and then we do it here. It's really great to know that I know exactly who's made everything, and I know exactly where everything's come from. We have massive accountability because we know exactly everything that happens in here. So we're not outsourcing. We buy our labels from a little company in the UK down south, and they make them and send them up to us. Apart from that, we do everything on site. And it was really great, and we're chuffed that Psychi reached out to us, a little small business, to say, you know, we have this great idea to upcycle the lost property. How do we do it? And then I could just come back with them with an answer. Well, this is what we do, which is exactly what you want us to do. So why not work together?